Hey everybody, hope you're doing well out there. I know I'm a little late to this topic, but it's important, so I did want to cover it. It is summer, and there are going to be a couple of e-bike laws going into effect. For my New Jersey people, you can correct me, but I think y'all is going into effect in July. And Florida, there are also an e-bike law going into effect in July. Um, my big thing is the New Jersey one right now. From what I can recall, there's going to be a law that um, e-bikes cannot be operated by anybody over 15 years old, and they need to be insured and registered at the DMV. Um, those two topics right there, um, not the one that you need to be 15 to ride them, but the one that you need to register and have it insured. Um, I believe that hurts um, certain demographics, special populations. Um, if you don't know what special populations, right there. But veterans, disabled, the elderly. Um, a lot of people can't afford any extra costs right now, and that's going to put more of a burden for some people. An e-bike is their only form of transportation. You could say just get a um, non e-bike, but e-bikes help people get further and help them, ride up hills, especially if you're disabled, ride up overpasses and things like that. And that extra juice and power provides them longer distances and, the ability to, get up hills and things like that nature. So I have an issue with that. And really, the more of an issue is just like the, you know, government making these laws without even thinking about that. I'm sure a couple of people may have, protested that, but they're not thinking about the actual people who are using them. What they are seeing are accidents, mainly adolescents getting in accidents. Um, One, they don't really have the education um, of the roadways, how to ride on the road, and two, they're not wearing proper safety gear. So I would have, you know, preferred to see something with mandatory safety gear that might already be um, in the New Jersey law, motor transportation, to wear a helmet. But how is it enforced? Is it really enforced? I highly doubt it. And also, it comes down to parents. Parents, if you can afford to buy your child a $2,000 electric bike, you can afford to buy them a $200 full face helmet. I don't get it. I will never understand it. If my child was on an electric bike, I definitely would make sure that they had the proper gear. Um, anyway, I just don't understand. It's summertime. There's already been accidents. There's been fatalities um, from people not wearing proper gear. Is proper gear going to prevent death? Possibly. Um, but if you get hit hard enough on an e-bike crossing the street when you're not supposed to, that gear is probably going to do little for you. Um, so I just wanted to bring attention. I know a lot of people already talked about it, but not necessarily the special populations that these laws are going to harm. I mean, think about it. You have a veteran, okay, who has PTSD from maybe a roadside um, IED while they're deployed, and they do not want to get into a vehicle So they don't want to get a driver's license, nevertheless, a license to ride an electric bike. And they found the freedom of riding an electric bike. They can get to uh, A, B, and C, without having that trauma coming back. I mean, that's just an example. I mean, there's plenty of examples out there, or the elderly person who can't afford insurance, and they get by day to day, getting to their appointments or going to a food pantry or whatever else, not by their electric bike. Yeah, there's a bunch of controversies regarding this. Like, yeah, a lot of people, oh, why don't you just get a regular bike? Yeah, yeah, you could just get a regular bike, but what if somebody gave that e-bike to them, right? And they love that e-bike and they've been using it forever, and then here comes a law that smacks them in the face, and also having to register it with the DMV, which costs costs money, and then you gotta do that every so often. You know, it's just something to consider and think about. You can bash e-bikes all you want. That's fine. Not everybody's gonna like e-bikes, but I believe that it is not necessarily the e-bike's fault. It's the operator. It's a parent not telling their child to wear protective gear. And even if they do provide them protective gear, making them wearing it, making them forcing, telling them, like, hey, there are accidents happening every day on these things. Like, I would not want anything to happen to you because you weren't following the rules or you weren't wearing the proper gear that I provided you. So please, understand, like, I'm not trying to be a stickler or anything like that. I'm trying to help you. I want to keep you safe, period. um, but teenagers and adolescents think they're invincible, so what can you do? um, and then there goes this law. Like, what can you do? Can you enforce these laws? I mean, you can enact these laws, but how are they going to be enforced? I'd rather a police officer be taking care of violent offenders and uh, you know um, being dispatched to crimes versus um, somebody who's not wearing their bike helmet while they're on the trail, or anything like that, or being reported, having to go into a trail because a couple kids were on their e-bikes and they're going too fast, or they weren't wearing the helmets. Um, yeah, education, respect. So respect is a big thing. Um, yeah, I could go on and on and on, but I think you understand. Just if you're in a car, watch out for e-bikes. They're becoming more and more popular, especially with the high gas prices. People are going to turn to e-bikes. They're already returning um, to e-bikes. Somebody may not have wanted one in the past, but they see that the benefits are um, greater than what they thought that they were. But anyway, y'all take care out there and share this. And if I'm missing something, please let me know. I love talking about this type of things. And y'all take care. All right.